which at the end of it, the evaluator made a very interesting observation. The evaluator said, that started a thought process in my head, and I look back at my years and I remember a time when that was not so. As a child, I was a child who was inflicted with one of the worst stage frights possible. To just tell you about the extent to which I suffered from it, there was one time when I really wanted to use the restroom, but the idea of raising my hand in class, having the attention of all my friends and more importantly the teacher on me, I couldn't stand that, and I sat there. So that is the extent to which I was scared. It was not just stage fright, the idea of having so many people looking at me and the possibility of me making a mistake in such situations was really daunting. It pushed me to the point that I wouldn't be able to speak. I would just stand there and not be able to do anything at all. As you can see, I have learned to deal with that problem. So how did I deal with it? In the same way I deal with something else that really daunted me as a child, and that was darkness. A lot of kids, I think all kids start out being scared of the dark, but in some cases it goes a little deeper than that. I have slept with the lights on in my room for far more many years than I'd like to admit. The idea of going into the dark was really, really scary. I didn't know what I was scared of. I didn't think there was anything there, yet it was just really difficult for me to do that. Things like these, especially the darkness part of it, started affecting my daily lives. Living with that fear that yes, there is something there and I am too scared to do anything about it. And it starts affecting your daily life. So I decided, I came across this slogan, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. At that point of time, I really didn't understand the impact of those words, but I could still feel the power in them. I couldn't grasp the meaning completely, but I still could feel the power in them. What I decided to do, I made a conscious decision to face my fears. The next time I saw a really dark room, I went in. That was the only thing I didn't want to do at that point of time, go inside the dark room, but I went in. I went in, it was pitch dark, I had no idea what was waiting for me in there. I went in and felt around and I came back and I was still alive. That was, I think, one of the greatest learnings I've ever had in my 23 years. That as you go and you face your fears, the fears, they take a step back. Once you face them, once you come out and you realize, you know what, I'm okay, I'm alive and it's fine. The next time the fears take a step back. The next time it was easier for me to go into the dark corner. Anytime I saw a dark corridor, I would say, oh, that's something I'm scared of. I will go and do exactly what I don't want to do. And I did that for quite some time. Before long I realized, you know what, I really don't need to do this anymore. I'm not scared of the dark anymore. I don't need to prove to myself that I can go in there. And the same thing with stage fright. When I saw that it was getting in the way, a teacher would ask me a question and I would stand there knowing the answer but not being able to open my mouth and facing the ridicule of everyone around me, I decided, you know what, I have to do this. So once the teacher asked for a volunteer someone to come and speak in front of the class, and shot up my hand, there I was standing in front of the class. I was visibly perspiring, I couldn't get a word out of my mouth and I was just there. There was deafening silence in the room and the people knew, okay, this is the guy who's never been able to speak up. What is he doing this standing up there and trying to say? And the teacher, she did not take mercy and let me go back. She waited. Eventually I decided the only way for me to get out of here was to say something. I don't remember what I spoke, I decided to close that memory off. But I did speak. For the first time in my life I spoke up, I stood up and I said something. And it became again, I used the same technique. Anytime the teacher would ask for a volunteer for anything, I would be the first to volunteer. The same people who would ridicule me for my inability to speak saw this, that you know, this guy is actually going out and trying to do this for himself. And the same people started supporting me. The moment, it became funny. Like the teacher asked, anyone wants to welcome the guest we're having tomorrow? Before you know it, they're like, hey, come on, you're going to raise your hand, aren't you? You're the one who's going to do it. Yes. So this is something which has really helped me deal with a lot of things in life. This is just two examples which I hope people can relate to, but everything. Today the fears have changed. Today is the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of isolation. But what I've come to realize is that as you face your fears, they disappear. They just go away. And what a wonderful way to go about things. Every time you face a fear, it's a win-win situation. If I wasn't able to speak on that, if I was able to speak on that day, good, I succeeded. And if I wasn't, then my fears took a step back. In my opinion, life is too short a time for us to live it in fear, and we should do whatever we can to face our fears. Thank you.